The cool cars here are the ones that took pride of place as posters on bedroom walls, or these days can be found gracing the backgrounds or wallpapers on computers or smartphone screens. They have an ageless quality that puts them down as instant classics, but there's something more to help them that helps their cool cause. In today's video, we will be showing you top coolest cars in the world. Without further ado, let's begin. Mercedes-Benz 280 SL Pagoda. When Mercedes launched its 280 SL back in the late 1960s, replacing the 250 SL, it was in an era where the most desirable cars came with ample grace and pace, which is a lot more than can be said for some high-end cars these days. Inside, it's much the same desirable yet classy affair as the outside. The large, thin steering wheel, big round dials, and subtle touches of chrome all work together to ooze sophistication. Countless famous faces have owned 280 SLs, including the likes of John Lennon and Kate Moss. Volkswagen Golf GTI. Although not the very first hot hatch to have ever been made, Volkswagen's Golf GTI didn't half make the success of it. As the story goes, VW engineers decided that while the standard Golf was a good car, it really needed a little more fire in its belly. So, in their spare time, between designing normal car parts and eating bratwurst, they tweaked the styling, played with the engine, and created an icon. As many will know, the hot hatchback formula is something of a have-your-cake-and-eat-it scenario. On the one hand, the MK1 Golf is practical, there are front and rear seats, visibility is great, and there is also a relatively large boot, and affordable to run, while the performance and handling are more than enough to put a smile on many a driver's face. Fiat 500. Fiat's 500 was Italy's answer to those looking for a small, affordable, and frugal car. In many ways, it's like a classic Mini. In fact, Fiat tried to get its little car into the original Italian Job film by offering as many as the producers could write off, but the powers that wanted a British model to take the center stage, despite BMC, British Motor Corporation, being much less open to supplying free or even discounted cars for the film. Irrespective of missing out on Hollywood fame, the 500 is still loved the world over, with Fiat's newer version continuing to sell well. Part of the original's charm was down to the stylish exterior, dinky proportions, and incredibly simple interior. Not all models were born equal though, because the 500L, or Lusso, meaning luxury, had a more plush cabin, including a different instrument panel and seats. The driving experience will thaw even the coldest heart, despite offering similar speed to a Glacier. Range Rover Classic. Few could have predicted the heights that Range Rover would reach, not least in terms of luxury and off-road prowess, but also as the transport of choice for the uber-wealthy and super famous. Yet, nearly 50 years on from its launch, the opulent 4x4 is still up there with the best in class. Part of this success has been Land Rover's drive for innovation. In fact, the original Range Rover was so innovative it created its own market segment back in the day. The very first model revealed to the world came with 3 doors and an interior that looked as if it could be cleaned with a hosepipe and a broom. Quite the contrast to the sleek, leather-clad versions that roll off the production line today. Alfa Romeo Spider. Alfa Romeo is a car manufacturer of two halves. On the one side, it has been known to make some of the most beautiful cars and engines in history. But on the other, it has made some incredibly unreliable cars which rust over quicker than you can say, "Get the dustpan and brush." Fortunately, the Spider is one of the Italian brand's better efforts, although it is still wise to check for rust. Back in 1966, Alfa launched its Spider with a 1.6-liter aluminum engine that featured double overhead camshafts and 5-speed manual gearbox and disc brakes all around. While power was rated at a modest 109-ish bph, the lightweight body and direct steering made for an enjoyable driving experience. BMW E30 M3. Let's not beat around the bush. BMW's E30 M3 is a legend. It was launched as a race car for the road, but it wasn't a nightmare to live with because it was still a relatively practical coupe, albeit faster than most other cars on the road. Even the regular E30 M3 looked the part, but Evolution and Sports Evolution are better still thanks to aggressive angular wheel arches. On top of the standard 3 Series, all M3s came with sporty alloy wheels, twin exhaust, and a smattering of M3 badges. It was under the body, though, that the real magic happened. Ford Capri. While America may have had the original Mustang, the UK and Europe had the Capri. In fact, the links between the two were supposed to be more obvious, as Ford wanted to call its smaller sports coupe the Colt, but Mitsubishi put an end to that as they already had a model using that name. First shown to the public in 1969, the Capri was pitched as the affordable, fun coupe that could just about squeeze 4 people into its cabin, but deliver heaps of driving fun. Nissan Skyline R34. The R34 generation of Nissan Skyline GTR has been immortalized through association with films such as The Fast and the Furious, and also their ability to humble much more expensive supercars on the racetrack. Part of this was thanks to some cutting-edge acronyms the R34 was blessed with, including Atessa ETS, which translates to traction control, and Super Hikka's 4-wheel steering. Nissan's 2.6-liter and 2.8-liter straight-six twin-turbo engines are something of a legend in car tuning circles thanks to their ability to handle significant power hikes via remaps and/or upgrades to the internals. Toyota 2000 GT. Compared to a lot of the cars Japan was producing in the late 1960s, Toyota's 2000 GT is otherworldly. It is an out-and-out sports car, and a rather good one at that. It is quite rare too, with just 351 believed to have been built during a production run starting in 1967 and ending in 1970. The 2000 GT is often compared to Jaguar's E-Type, at least in coupe form, because both models come with swoopy styling and are quite well suited to grand touring. AC Cobra. What do you get when you cross a red-blooded American V8 engine with a ye old British roadster? The AC Cobra, that's what. To paint the full picture, British manufacturer AC had teamed with icon Carroll Shelby to produce a car. AC would manufacture an Ace Roadster, minus the engine and gearbox, ship it across the pond where Shelby would shoehorn a Ford lump under the bonnet. Chevrolet engines were planned to be used, but it was Ford that showed the most enthusiasm. At first, Shelby used Ford's 7.5-liter V8, but it was the 4.7-liter or 289 cubic inch V8 which would become the most famous engine. So guys, let me know your thoughts down in the comments section below. For more interesting content, give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more awesome content. Have a nice day, and I will see you in the next video!